haven't, but I've been meaning to. Thanks for the fire under my butt. So, the bubbly drinks that I make, they're called like ginger sodas. They're called sodas, and I don't like calling them sodas because they're not soda just because they're carbonated. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Fermented juice, basically, or tea, fermented tea, and this is how I make it. You first make a ginger bug, which is like making a sourdough starter. So you just start with ginger and sugar and a little bit of water, and you let it sit for a day or two. Some of the recipes say, you know, like feed it every single day. I usually go every other day. And the next day, more ginger, more sugar, a little bit more water, and so on. And for like a week to 10 days. And by the time you're up here, it should be nice and bubbly. And then you just take a little bit of this. I don't measure. I just splash it into the jar. And then I fill the rest of the jar up like this one. Splash a little bit in. Oop, piece of ginger got in there. I don't have a problem with that. A little bit of ginger bug. And then I filled the rest of it up with lemonade. And then, can you hear this? It's totally ready. So after I have put the ginger bug in and the lemonade, I'll let it sit on my counter for a day or two because in the refrigerator, it kind of slows fermentation down. And so I'll let it sit out for a couple days and just let things kind of get going. And then I'll stick it in the fridge and let it sit in there for a few more days to ferment and get chilled. And I usually have kind of like a rotation going and several going at a time. Like this one is, leaking. Anyway, yeah, this one is, also, I don't know if you can hear that either. It's bubbling though. I just made this one last night and I used a turmeric bug instead of a ginger bug. And so this one's like pomegranate juice, and I think there's a bit of lemonade in there, and I splashed the rest of my fermented tea in here. You know, sometimes I combine jars. Let me say fermented tea is fan-frickin-tastic. I made a hibiscus like spearmint one once, and it's just like so crisp and it, you know, not super sugary. The thing is with ginger bugs, I should have probably started with that, is that the yeast and the bacteria on the root eat the sugar. And so what happens is it eats, once you add the bug to the juice, it starts eating the sugar content in the juice. So if you let it go too long, it will actually end up tasting a little bit like alcohol or beer. So there's kind of like a sweet spot in there. And I've got the rotation down perfectly for me, where I just let it sit on the counter a couple days, throw it in the fridge. 3 or 4 days later, as I'm finishing one, the other will be ready. But yeah, I drink off of these like every day, like right before my breakfast, like in between meals, right before bed. I'll drink some tart cherry soda because it's really good for joints and sleep. And so, and tart cherry, I love really tart things. So I love tart cherry a lot. Oh yeah. I love this stuff, like for real. I'm a huge advocate for fermenting things and getting the fermented good bacterias in your body. I've been eating and making yogurt and kimchi for years, but when I started doing ginger bugs last year, like my gut just loves this stuff. It just completely changed. Like I was having some issues, and it wasn't just gut, like I had some other organ issues and things that I had to fix, and it's just been a game changer for me. So I highly recommend it. I just made this one. This one is like a green juice that's got a lot of different kind of veggies in it, and it's a really good juice, and it's not filtered a whole bunch. Like it has a lot of sediment and stuff in it. I don't want to go into like juices and things because that's like a huge subject, and just like the concentrates and the brands and how much they filter and just price it. Just, you know, choose whatever juice you want. As long as it has sugar content, the ginger bugs will work. I just try to get super high quality or juice my own or something, you know. But anyway, I didn't want to make a super long video. But yeah, so I basically, as soon as you're done and it's not very much liquid left, you can put it in the fridge. And then you just take it out when you want to wake it up again. Poured a little bit of sugar, like a tablespoon of sugar in there, and I added some water. And by tomorrow, it's already gathering. I can already tell that it's gathering fermentation or like carbonation in there. So yeah, I'll leave this one out and I'll leave this one out, and then I'll add those to more juice. So those are ready by next week. So I hope that helps. Highly recommend. 5 stars. Ginger bugs for the win.